Those of you out there who know us best know that we here at H3 Productions are all about blasting ass. And it has been such a long time since I've just taken such a nice steaming load on another person's chest, and I feel like now is the time to do it. And luckily I found one of the shadiest things I have ever seen on my time on YouTube, and trust me,
I won't lie,
this is definitely me when I've seen all the shadiest shit on YouTube, and this is worse than all of it.
I swear that I watched this one 10 times.
Today we're talking about CSGO gambling, which is really something that's taken the internet by storm these past couple of years. And it seems like these gambling sites are popping up all over the place, and there's some controversy stewing around it. Now I know Gabe and Valve are memes, they're supposed to be the saviors of the internet and all that, but underneath all of this, there's some really shady shit going on with Valve, and even more with the people operating these sites themselves. And I kind of want to give you guys an overview from top down just to show you how fucked up this shit has gotten. Now, according to this Bloomberg article entitled "Virtual Weapons Are Turning Teen Gamers into Serious Gamblers," they allege that these gambling sites take 2.3 billion trades just in 2015. 2.3 billion. That's a huge industry. For those of you who are not familiar with Counter-Strike, it's basically a multiplayer game where you shoot each other. But the big pull of the game right now is the virtual items you can own in the game. So you can get a really cool looking AK-47, and they range in price from 1 cent all the way up to like $4,000. And the way you obtain these skins is by buying a key that costs $250 to opening crates that randomly drop in the game. And it feels like Valve itself has specifically designed this game to operate almost exactly like a slot machine. When you compare opening a crate in CSGO, it looks almost identical to an online slot machine. The only difference is that you have to be over the age of 21 or people will go to prison. Opening crates? Everybody's welcome. Kids invited. Valve has created a loophole for themselves by claiming that CSGO skins aren't money and therefore it's not gambling. But if you look, you can immediately sell these skins for real money. In addition to Valve's own system for opening crates, tons of CSGO gambling sites have propped up in the past couple of years. These gambling sites are fairly simple. You basically just put in your skins, do a coin toss against other players, essentially just putting all your money into a pile and flipping a coin to see who wins. Now this is when it gets really interesting. People have created a class action lawsuit against Valve, suing them for helping these gambling sites. So what this lawsuit alleges is that Valve knowingly allowed, supported, and or sponsored illegal gambling by allowing millions of Americans to link their individual Steam accounts to third-party websites. Furthermore, because Valve has helped to create an unregulated international gambling concern with no oversight that targets teenagers, plaintiffs and the class have been damaged. This unregulated market is ripe for scams, cheating, fraud, and other harm to users. Their kids lost money, and the parents came together saying, well, this is illegal. Why are you allowing my kids to gamble on your site? And they had this premonition like, this is an unregulated gambling market that's ripe for scams and fraud, okay? And this is where this story is going next, and this is when it gets so crazy, guys. I'm gonna be focusing on two extremely popular YouTubers by the name of Pro Syndicate and T Martin. And these guys are huge CSGO players. Together they have a combined sub count of well over 10 million. Now these two guys have a ton of CSGO gambling videos on their YouTube pages where they're winning huge amounts of money. They have videos titled such as "How to Win $13,000 in 5 minutes with CSGO Betting." Now, if that title doesn't sound just like a get-rich-quick scheme, then I'm the fucking Pope. Play now and win $10,000, right? Like, are you creating entertainment or are you trying to get kids to gamble? And they're both always playing on the same site, CSGO Lotto.
You know what? Today I woke up and thought, let's do something stupid. And that certain thing of stupidness is I'm putting my ARP Dragonlore Factory New on the line. I'm gambling on CSGO Lotto. I'm going for the Jewel Arena, 50-50 chance of winning.
What if I told you that they were being paid by CS Lotto to, introduce children to gambling and get people to go on their site? And they didn't even disclose it in the description. They didn't say paid by, they didn't say sponsored. But what if I told you that these two slimy fucks actually own this website. T. Martin is the president and Pro Syndicate is the vice president. They created it together. They don't disclose it in the description. They don't disclose it in the videos. They own this site. Now, why is this shady? Because if they own the site, they have access to the back end of the website. They can control the outcome of every bet. They can fake the results to make promoting videos. And, by the way, it's illegal to not disclose if you've been paid or work for a company to promote or review that product. So no, they don't work for them. They fucking own it, dude. I mean, I've never heard of a gambling site that allows their employees, let alone their owners, to play on it because it's highly immoral and shady as fuck. Now here's a video by Syndicate entitled "Winning Big, Money, 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 exclamation, exclamation, woo woo! Kids, come on, anyone can play of any age." And here in the description, he says, "Site used CSGO Lotto." Like, it's almost incidental. Like, oh, and by the way, this is the site I used. So if you guys, want to do this, not that it affects me, but you can click this link, site used.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome your faces today to the ultimatum of gambling on CSGO Lotto, where today we are throwing down with a starting bid of $50, then $100, then $200, then $400, then $800.
So here he, fairy tale story, $50 up to thousands in a 13-minute video. Terrific stuff here, guys.
Got a Galil. I've never seen. We won already! Yes! That's what I'm talking about. Yes! Yes! That's the way. I like it.
Do you think it's possible he faked his reaction and faked the actual results of the bet? It's possible. It's very possible. I don't know if he did, but it's possible, and that's why you don't gamble on your own site. It doesn't need to be said. It's obscene. Now, this isn't even the first time that Pro Syndicate has been in trouble with the FTC for not disclosing his ties to a game he's reviewed. In 2005, he showed himself playing a game many times on his channel called Dead Realm that he was an owner of. He invested in this game, and he posted videos of him playing it and didn't disclose his financial ties to the game. You would think that by now he would have learned his lesson and been more forthcoming about his ties to these institutions, but he's still dishonest about it. Now, how do we know that they own it? This YouTuber, the small YouTuber who did this amazing research called Honor the Call, by the way, the link is in the description, check this guy out, he's done amazing research. He basically discovered the registration of the business that has all of their names on it. So there's no doubt that these guys own this company, okay? And since he kind of busted this story, they've been in full, damage control mode. T. Martin went to his YouTube channel and posted this vlog saying, "Yes, I am the part owner of CSGOLotto.com, full story." And he tries to explain how it's not that big of a deal.
Basically, what's breaking news now is that myself and a few other people, including Tom or Pro Syndicate, own CSGO Lotto. And this is something that has never been a secret.
Well, that's nice to say, but me and a team of researchers haven't been able to find one example of him disclosing that he's the owner of this site, nor has Pro Syndicate. In fact, I went to his LinkedIn, and even there, where he proudly displays all of his achievements as a businessman, CSGO Lotto is suspiciously missing from that list. I mean, that's quite an achievement, dude. You own a CSGO gambling site. That probably generates a lot of revenue. I would definitely put that on my LinkedIn if that was something I was proud of as a businessman. Certainly, I wouldn't want to hide that or conceal that from anybody, right? Not unless I was doing something shady. Watch this clip and tell me if this is a man who's disclosing he's the owner of this site.
Now, what I was talking about earlier, I want to talk to you guys about at the end of the video. I've been starting to bet a little bit more. Like Brock, obviously you guys know he loves betting. He's posted a ton of betting videos on his channel and stuff. And he's been hitting me up. And we found this new site called CSGO Lotto. So I'll link it down in the description if you guys want to check it out. But we were betting on it today, and I won a pot of like $69 or something like that. So it was a pretty small pot, but it was like the coolest feeling ever. And I ended up like following them on Twitter and stuff, and they hit me up, and they're talking to me about potentially doing like a skin sponsorship. Like they'll give me skins to be able to bet on the site and stuff. And I've been like considering doing it. Like I think that'd be kind of cool.
Wow, dude, how cool. You got a sponsorship from this new site that you fucking own? That's like the shadiest thing I have ever seen in my life. I feel like I need to play that again.
This is something that has never been a secret.
And we found this new site called CSGO Lotto. So
Faking something like that and kind of being deceiving like that would be one of the worst things you could possibly do.
we were betting on it today, and I won a pot of like $69 or something like that. So it was a pretty small pot, but it was like the coolest feeling ever.
I don't know how you can sleep at night knowing that you put down other people with misinformation and cause them harm. Like, how could you live with yourself?
Like the coolest feeling ever. And I ended up like following them on Twitter and stuff.
How could you live with yourself?
And we found this new site called CSGO Lotto. So I'll link it down in the description if you guys want to check it out.
I found a new site that I think you guys are gonna like. How the fuck do you live with yourself, dog?
Problem with that would be if I didn't divulge that information, and I do. You can look at the descriptions of every single one of my CSGO Lotto videos.
But he says, I didn't do anything wrong here, guys. That's just why I'm going to go through the description of all my videos and update it to put a disclaimer insinuating that I knew I was doing something shady. My favorite part about this claim is that if you just go to his videos, you can simply check the Google cache and see that he's just added the disclaimers since this news came out. And even if you go to this video I just showed you where he lies about CSGO Lotto approaching him, he still didn't put a disclaimer in the description as of this time right now. All it says is best place for gambling skin, csgolotto.com. Not to mention the disclaimer he's added says don't play if you're underage, but the privacy policy on the website forbids only children from under the age of 13. So which one is it, dude? 13 or 18? Now this second video of his broke again on Scarce's news channel.
But he actually had a very good response to this. He said that I do own the site now and I didn't back then. At that point, it was a feeler video to see if my viewers would enjoy that type of content and whether or not I should invest in the business.
Basically what he's saying is that he didn't own the company at the time of making that video, so technically he wasn't lying. If you look at the company charter here, you can clearly see that he was the owner from day one. Not only that, but he's the dude who filed it. He's the incorporator. He's the guy who did the papers and signed it out and put his name on it and said, I own this company. And all of his officers there, Pro Syndicate is one of them, were there from day one. So I don't really understand what you're trying to say, T. Martin. Were you the owner or were you not? Because clearly the charter shows that you are the original incorporator. As someone who loves new media, I love esports, I love YouTube. When this kind of thing is allowed to go on, it cheapens everything we do.
That's why we here at H3H3 Productions have decided to make our own CSGO gambling site called babygambles.net. We believe that 13-year-old is way too old to get started gambling, and we want the age to go down to 5. Because if you're old enough to play with blocks, you're definitely old enough to play with crates. We believe that children should feel the crushing defeat and crippling self-loathing that comes along with gambling, because it's never too young to start hating yourself and despising your life. So join us today at babybets.com/H3H3. By the way, I am not affiliated with this site. I just use it myself. I play with my children. They have a lot of fun. I am not affiliated with this site. It's just incidental. Please check it out. Thank you guys. csbabybets.gov. Thank you guys. And if all of this wasn't disturbing enough, we found something way worse. This will shake the gaming community to the core. Gabe Newell is a brony.
I watch My Little Pony.
You're a brony.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.